Welcome to Dream by Design with Melissa Banks, where women share their dreams, struggles and successes, how they were able to persevere despite the fear and create the life they want and deserve. If you're looking for inspiration to move you past where you normally would stop, then this is the show for you. Here's your host, Melissa Banks.
Welcome to Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. I'm excited you could be with us today. I'm your host, Melissa Banks. Today, we have another amazing woman to share her journey with us and how she was able to keep going despite the circumstances. Our guest today is Pauline Rogers. Pauline is the co-founder of the Reaching and Educating for Community Hope Foundation, REC, located in Jackson, Mississippi, that operates the Wendy Hatcher Transitional Home for recently released incarcerated. She also runs the statewide employment and life skills training initiative known as MORE, Mississippi Offender Reentry Establishment. Pauline has dedicated over 30 years to her passion of advocating for criminal justice reform. Pauline and her husband are both previously incarcerated and know from firsthand experience the challenges and needs facing a person coming out of the Mississippi prison system. Welcome back to the show, Pauline. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Melissa. I'm glad to be here always.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. Well, so much has been going on with you since you were last here, and I'm so excited for you and all of your successes. I wanted to begin our conversation with your work at the REC Foundation, and it's clearly your passion. It's where you put your blood, sweat, and tears. So share with us why this is so important to you.
Thank you, Melissa. It's important to me. We actually pronounce it reach, but we deal with RECs. Each and every day, the RECs of this world. I am personally impacted by crime and incarceration, and it was through my own lived experience that my mission and purpose in life out of my mess became my message and ministry. And so that's where it comes from. And in this country, there are 2.3 million people incarcerated. The United States is number one in the world with incarceration. We have more people incarcerated in the United States of America than any country in the world, than all the colleges put together in this country. There are people filled in the prisons, and there's something wrong. Mississippi is number 2 in that number, and so we got a problem. And I'm not soft on crime, but I am to a place of where we have to look at this from a holistic point of how do we solve this problem. And so that's where the passion comes from, Melissa.
Wow, those numbers to hear those numbers out loud just blows your mind and help us understand the passion behind the work that you do. Absolutely. So let's talk about the other important work you do with the transition into productive lifestyle after incarceration. And you have a hashtag called Help in the House, which I love. But I see you hand in hand, Pauline, boots on the ground, moving here, moving there, giving support and helping that transition go as smoothly as it can. Do you feel because of this is one reason that you've had so much success?
I do. The success that you refer to, I don't look at it as success of me. I am nothing without the people that I seek to serve, and that's what I am, a servant to them. And if we're going to end recidivism, you have to deal with people and their problems and issues, not the issue of the person that runs. It's not Reach is only successful because of the success of the people that we have served. And so we get into their problems and become an ingredient in the solution to their lives. And that's what makes us successful. The people are successful. So we're riding on their success, if you will. It's not them riding on us. We're riding on their success. So we just create opportunities for them to succeed. And then we walk hand in hand, foot in foot with them while they are on that path to succeeding. And that's how we have gotten here.
Absolutely. And actually, in that case, that's what I was referring to, how how because they don't just get out, you let them go on their own and figure it out. When they get out, you're walking right there with them. And I believe that that's the reason that you have the recidivism rate that you do have. It's because you're holding their hands. And that takes a lot. And that takes a lot of commitment and a lot of care and a lot of willingness to serve on you guys' part. So that's amazing.
Look, you are absolutely right, Melissa. It's like having adult dependents. And some of them people do call our senior babies, because it's like we're dealing with a couple of them now that have done over 3 decades of incarceration. And both of them have tremendous family support. However, the family that knew them prior to incarceration, after incarceration, these people are different. You have to get to know them all over again. And the person that went in one way now comes out a different way. And sometimes we can strongly sense when intervention needs to occur. Intervention not meaning that something ugly is going on. It's just a gap, a lack of communication or a lack of understanding. And you just go in and be that advocate, that go-between until they can breathe to come back again. And we recognize that.
No.
And so we are very much hands-on in the lives of the people that we serve when we pick them up at the gate, because that is our policy. When they get out of incarceration, one of our volunteer staff is there to meet them at the gate. They don't get to stop in between. So we snatch them from the gate and we walk alongside them until they are ready to branch out on their own.
That is so amazing, Pauline. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. And today our guest is Pauline Rogers, co-founder of Reaching and Educating for Community Hope Foundation, REACH. Okay, Pauline, I know that you give back and you do this because of the people that you help, but we want to take this opportunity to say congratulations to you, Pauline, because you said yes to the helping hand. You said yes to serving. You said, yes, I want to help people from the beginning to the end. It did take your yes and your willingness to put in the hard work. So we just wanted to take a moment and say congratulations to you on everything and all of your successes. I mean, I was reading up on you, Pauline. You have received awards. You've had appearances on CBN, The Word, TBN, and magazines galore. And we don't want to fail to mention your Woman Who Shine recognition right here on this show, your Legends Award, and Remarkable Woman Award. So just take a deep breath right here, Pauline, and share with us, how does it feel to be living your life's work, your passion for what you do, and finally getting some of the recognition you so deserve?
Melissa, accolades are good. We love pats on the back. It's like children when we applaud them when they do their first potty, when they go to the bathroom on their own or whatever. We applaud them. So when we become adults, we're no different. The applause are not to puff us up. The applause are a push. Accolades are a push. And sometimes we fail to accolade another sister, another brother. But all that is a push. So those accolades all the more just says, keep working, keep going, don't stop. One of the biggest invitations I ever had to turn down in life was with a big honor. With the recent Vice President Kamala Harris came to Greenville, Mississippi, we got a personal invitation to attend the thing. Now, it doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. That's the second highest office in the land, and it is honorable to be invited. And so we had a personal invite, but guess what? We had to turn it down because we had a commitment to 3 women. 2 of them were on death row together, had not been able to reunite. We had intervened, and so I could not count. These people are significant and important that I had to turn that down. But that invitation was just a mere push to keep going. It's just like the work that Dream by Design does. I mean, when I see you every day, it's like looking at you carry yourself in that queenly state. And the way you carry yourself in that queenly state, anybody that knows when they come to you that this is what you're going to get, because it's how you carry yourself in that work. And every time you see a room decorated or a table or the way you present something for somebody else, it's just a push when you get that accolade from the person that you created this whole scene for whatever their occasion was. Those accolades are just a push to keep you energized, to keep going, to do what you do in the lives of somebody else.
Well, absolutely, Pauline. I believe that we go through things, and when our passion is, the things that come up, if we use them to push us to our next step, we continue to influence people, we continue to impact their lives. And that's one of the reasons this show we're on right now was even born, because I believe that women who go through stuff, who share those things they went through, and who refuse to say no. I'm sure that you faced some challenges in this 30-plus years of doing what you do. You didn't start it yesterday. You've been building. You've been crawling through some stuff. You've had some ups and some downs, but you didn't let any of those things stop you. An amazing commitment to turn down an invitation to be in the presence of Kamala Harris. What an honor. But, you know, the bigger honor is that you said, no, as big of honor as this is, I have a commitment to these women, to be there, to serve them, and that just makes us love you even more, Pauline. And I just think that is so amazing. So, Pauline, I want you to share with us, you do so much. You motivate, you serve, you do so much. What do you do when you're feeling a little overwhelmed, you're feeling a little tired because you've been on the road, you've been serving, you need some encouragement for yourself? Talk to us a little bit how you get through those moments and you keep going, even when it's hard.
Christ is my ultimate source. And when I feel drained or whatever, I go to the Creator who created me, the one who has sustained me and sustains me, my husband and all of those that work alongside with us. I go to that source. Because one thing I've learned about people is when Christ came on the scene, he gave us a to-do list. But sometimes what we fail to do as people is create our own to-do list. And he gave us choices. And then when we don't make our own to-do list, when we don't make our own choices, guess what? Somebody else will make them for us. Somebody else is going to pull because they want another event out of Melissa. They want another, they got this thing, because I've done it to you. I've called, do you have these pearls here? I had an event coming. Do you have this here that looks like? You have to stop, breathe, refuel in order to be energized for the next person. You can't pour out empty vessel. And so I always have to take this vessel of mine and fill it up with what energizes me, and that's the Word of God, a prayer life, fellowshipping with other believers, and going out and taking what I was filled up with and pouring it into somebody else. So that's what fuels me, is keeping my relationship with God pure. And that's what fuels me to go another step, another mile, another second, another day.
Wow, thank you for that, Pauline. That was amazing. So, Pauline, you've accomplished so much. You're doing so much with your foundation and helping others. So share with us what's next. What are you working on now and what's coming up next?
Doing more, expanding it, solidifying what we have, making sure that our capacity building is strong. Because, like I said, mass incarceration is 2.3 million in this country, and the state of Mississippi is number 2 in the nation. And per capita, if you look at it, we're number 1. And so the goal is to get officials. I was very disappointed in our recent legislative session that we didn't get a lot of wins with criminal justice reform. And one legislator said that he was tired of criminal justice issues. And my response to that was, well, we need to give him some rest at the poll by voting him out. And if we keep perpetuating, one thing that that's closely associated and is a fueler to mass incarceration is bad legislation and bad laws. Crime is bad, yes. Bad laws and legislation fuels crime or create crime. What I mean by that is you got open carry laws, the right, stand your ground laws or something. So you got bad laws that just make people walk around like they gun smoke, and just if something happens you don't like, you just shoot. Then you wonder why we got all these killings. We got bad laws on the book that need modification. Now, I'm not against people carrying guns. I've been around guns all my life. But we have to make sensible legislation. And so that's my next thing is I'm already doing it, but just to do it even more in an excellent way, to expand what we're doing, put more legs to what we're doing in other counties, in the 32 counties here in the state of Mississippi, to bring some folk home.
Wow. Absolutely. And we support you in that work, Pauline. Before we wrap up, though, do you have any final words for our audience, people who are listening to you right now, to gain some encouragement? Maybe they're going through something and need to hear some encouraging words. And also just let them know how we can stay connected with you and support you in your programs that you do.
I would tell people that if you are discouraged, if you got a loved one or not even if they're in prison, but you got an unruly child, spouse or whatever, and you just don't know which way to go, just stop, stand still, and breathe. Because sometimes you can get so caught up, and we've been locked in this COVID season, and people's emotions are suppressed and constricted within four walls. And just breathe, because some of the stuff that we sweat over, don't sweat the small stuff. Seasons change. So if you're in a bad season now, just know that season won't last. And if you have loved ones that's incarcerated, stay in touch with them. Write them. Visit if you can. Allow them to call every now and then. I'm not saying call every whatever, because those calls are high. But just encourage yourself, even when it feels like there's no encouragement coming. Encourage yourself. And don't get caught up in what's happening all around you or what looks like maybe eloquence in somebody else's life. Just work your little area, work your little corner, and watch God. Trust God in it, and let God bring you out of whatever and take you through whatever. And whatever you're going through, don't stop. Keep moving. And you can stay in touch with us. We have a website, www.rechfoundationms.org. Again, www.rechfoundationms.org. Our email is rechpauline, Pauline, @gmail.com. Our phone number is 601-918-2970. And we are on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, TikTok. We're on them all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that, Pauline. This is what I heard. I heard stop, stand still, and breathe, and encourage yourself and watch God work. Thank you so much, Pauline, for being here today. Thank you for sharing your life with all of us and encouraging all of us to just want to do a little bit better. So thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you, Melissa, and bless you in all you do.
And thank you so much. And thank you to our audience for tuning in to today's edition of Dream by Design. I'm your host, Melissa Banks, saying all your dreams are possible. Believe in yourself, work hard, and don't quit. Until next time, thank you for choosing Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. Enjoy your day.